it didn't allow me. I tried going after the play shadows, but it didn't allow me to purchase it for some odd reason. And the shadows is the revised version. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. it all depends. I don't know how fast it's moving in on this, but the rain is starting to trickle off and on. So it should be in here. What's today? Probably about Sunday, Monday, somewhere around. It all depends how fast it's moving. I don't know how fast it's moving. All that they all know. But it makes me want to buy one of those freaking things that catches the wind and all that. Cause, nah, the water, man. Yeah, those things are badass. You can always just use that for shooting and stuff like that. Yeah, it's for a number of things. People never get that. People they close their minds up a lot.
Cameras and scanning tech are fully functional.
All right. Let's find Falcone. Good point of entry.
tells them to leave. He tells them all to leave. He doesn't fall over the balcony. do
What the hell did
cardio.
we do this for?
I'll only be able to do
Bruce,
What have you been hiding from me?
my speed bag and my my double dead, and my push-ups. That's it. I won't be able to do the. What yeah, with the double bag, I mean, you can go all day if you want it. I mean, you can go all day. It all do better. You lose your breath, but you can go all day. But with cardio, it's not that easy. Well, cardio is always real good, but what you have to do is do rotations. I can do rotations. I want you to. Oh, I was looking up. I don't know if y'all like PPP news, but that company TSLA, they're getting sued for about $20 billion for infringement. But I don't know who it is. But if you look up on copyrights infringements, they usually go somewhere around it. Companies go around it, what they perceive to be their invention. Because I don't know what it is, because they do all the, but I think it's the body, so I don't know what it is. I forgot. I didn't read into it, but I remember reading the headlines on it. It's for 20 billion. It's a lot of fucking money. Anyhow, there was one when I was growing up that resembles that, but it is nothing like that. There's double insulated and a wicker. It doesn't look like a wicker at all. I mean, it's partly for text messaging lines, but it has fleece within it compared to the other company. It's just the bodysuit with the wicking, with the it wicks the freaking. When wind hits, it's supposed to cool you down. It's not supposed to keep it damp and humid. I mean, it tells what kind of fabric they're using. And then there's another one. When I was a kid, it was just freaking made out of thin freaking nylon and cotton, and it was etching. It was like a square over a square over a square. But when the wind would hit, it would just go right through it. So you had to double and triple up on it. It was for some people they're pajamas, or for people it was for them to walk outside, so they want to be as cold. But it didn't honestly work. But that one it's an insulated one with fleece within it, and then on top of it has a nylon on top of it. Polyester they call it. But when I was growing up, they would call it nylon. But they call it polyester since the 60s and 70s when it came out. But it's called nowadays it's called nylon. It's a form of cotton and polyester. It's a mixed blend, the microfleece they call it. They just keep adapting to the word and the word and the word. And then before the 90s, they changed the laws to where people could use cotton. There's a book on cotton, I'll purchase it. I'll donate it. I don't know. Anyway, that book it's a real good book on cotton, on how the laws pertaining to this government system is to dilute the word cotton within the law. I mean, they could put 1% in it, and people perceive to think when they say cotton and they purchase it, it's not cotton, and they get fucked over. But that's why they give them that incentive and that right in my country, not in their countries, but in my country, to return it. But the fucking bullshit catches. I mean, you could wear that fucking shirt to a fucking tin, them gonna wash it every day, wear it every day, make it stink and shit, all that monkey shit, spray it all up and all that, and you could return it. But when you read the fine print, it says it has the tags, but people run around it. They know how to put a tag into it and do all. I mean, telling you, it is the biggest, one of the biggest cons in the world. But you could wear it, but after 120 days or 90 days, I forgot how many days they give you to buy clothes and wear it and sport and return it. It comes back to them using, they just sell it as fucking brand new, and it fucking annoys me, man, when they sell it as a brand new fucking item there. And it hits it there, man. But that is the law. Jory promised. Rapist. But anyhow, it can have 1% cotton, but it's usually, let me see, it's usually around 20%, 10%. But it is real low, because nylon is a form of cotton. It really is cotton. Nylon is cotton. And then the micro microfleece, it's a mixed blend of polyester and cotton to where it stretches. And then the wicking one, it's a real strong one of polyester and microfleece, which is a trifecta. It's pretty badass, man. The problem with it is that when you wash it and you scratch it, I mean, it's abrasive, and some of it isn't abrasive. The ones that isn't abrasive, it's more expensive, but they'll show you, no, there's a big fucking difference. I mean, you can scratch it and with a piece of metal or something, then it just fucking starts to dull out. Like polyester, it dulls out right away. It starts to pinch, and then you have to buy a whole new one. So you have to be careful. But it also teaches you about you and yourself and how you need to go about your life when you purchase things like that. But you have to return it. And then the other one is the other option for that is it's Pima. And then they have Supreme Pima, and that's 100% cotton. The law. It has to be 100% cotton, because if it has anything other than, you could get your money back instead of you suing. And the reason why they made that law is because when people will buy with credit cards, there's a law looking out for that credit card company saying, I'm not gonna pay for something, and that I'm the one who's liable. They shouldn't get any money. We're the ones should be entitled to a double up, not them. We're the one fronting up the money. They're just saying that they're worth that credit. We're the ones with the credit. We're the ones with the money, not that individual. And that's fucking bullshit, man. How they sided with the credit card companies, but it was the biggest fucking argument on what those freaking credit card companies and little banks and those major banks were doing in order to get all that fucking money. It was one of the biggest arguments from the 70s and the 80s. And the whatchamacallit, the people with the new freaking people within those territories, not just the Italian mob, but people that were up and coming with fucking money in their pockets were explaining, man, that's not the way it fucking works, man. That is not the way it works. You're saying that I am not worth that much money. I'm here to prove that I am really worth that much money. And those freaking people are fucking millionaires, fucking damn near fucking almost not billion, trillions, but they're millionaires. Some people, it's dead. They're so private that they don't want no one to know how much money they actually have. Others are willing to brag about and tell everybody how much money they have and stuff like that, on how they doubled up on life insurance policies and things like that. But it's fucking crazy like that. You should do the same. Double up on life insurance policies, not fucking clothes and video games and shit like that. And that's why those individuals are worth that much, because they get life insurance policies. And once they die off, that's how much money they're going to accumulate when they pass off and hand it on over to their branch and within their family. Do you understand that? I mean, people really are diluted. Some people don't like talking about that because they want to keep that to themselves, but that's not the way it fucking works. That strategy works, but it shows what kind of thought mentality they have towards you, towards other people trying to make a name for themselves, for the people claiming that they don't know how to make people money, for the people claiming that they're not smart. I'm telling you, people close their minds up, but they want to be idolized, and they get that. And other people, they don't understand that. They let their children get educated about the so-called system in this country, and they think they're learning what they need to be learned. And they say, well, if they don't, then no. If it has nothing to do with the curriculum, you have no right to talk anything but that. So when you get into progression, you find out that those students don't ask those type of questions. I mean, their family members, or what they do, or what they read, and the people they hang out with tell them to question them that way. People think it's fucking funny. When I was growing up, people would laugh at me and laugh. Like, hey man, typing, I mean, it's gonna be played out. I'm telling you right now. I mean, all you have to, it's gonna be played out. The jobs that they want y'all to do, it's gonna do nothing with typing, and I'll fucking prove it. And they were like, Martinez, don't talk like that to your classmates. They were laughing at it. The one was like, that's true, it's funny. They were all laughing. But a lot of people with employment, it'll have nothing to do with typing, with like the way they want you to type, honestly. For them to say you have to do this in a certain amount of time and do this and that, this and that, and you'll get your job. I mean, it's bullshit. It's all about having a good fucking memory. Do you understand that? I mean, people proving it, people with real good memories are high way in the fuck up there. But they let you get bleed to a bloody fucking pulp each and every fucking time. And they look the other way. But because in my state, if your parents don't want to do nothing about it and don't call the fucking cops, I mean, you're fucked over each and every time and time and over again, man. sample. I mean, it's fucking retarded. I mean, those people. I mean, like I said, man, my thought mentality is straight on board. I already know the fucking thought. But for them to say that you're not worth that much, it's a bunch of bullshit. When they find out the truth, I mean, people will actually find out. People that get top power, that educate themselves properly, that don't think like the rest of them, that don't follow the herd, will say the same thing, and those people get idolized. Once they find out who it is, I mean, it's either it'll make or break people, man.
When your parents, they left me as caretaker of their estate, their son, and their sons.
Like I said, it's always the same thing.
Your parents were good people, Bruce. No matter what that.
But they're getting super like 20, somewhere about
There's no truth to it.
20 billion. It's an infringement.
The evidence you brought me on Falcone held up. Maybe I misjudged you.
Now Batman's beating up monsters too. Wonder who's up next.
But that is a problem. When you do the studying on things like that, I don't think they're giving them a percentage or something like that. It's a loophole.
What's best for Gotham?
Like
I have to distance myself.
but it usually is a loophole. But they use it. Well, that design belongs to me. But it's a double up. That one has fleece and micro fleece, and then the other one's just plain old what you call it, polyester with some cotton to nylon. Well, it's nylon, but they call it cotton to give it some rest assurance, so it can contour to your body tighter. I mean, it's crazy like that. That company's getting sued. And then I'm looking at theirs. Theirs has a pocket on the side, so in case you want to do something, hold it right there while you're doing your work, instead of leaving it within the locker room. And it's all news to me, man. The way they all intermingle and shit like that too, man. It's all news to me. When they go to benefits, when they go to fucking locations, I mean, it's just fucking played out to me. I mean, no, man, I don't put up with shit like that. I mean, that shit fucking balls me up with so much fucking anger. I mean, my fucking instinct is to fucking go up and just fucking start doing the most ignorant shit there, man. But they're like, causing a scene is the worst thing you could do, because they'll run you out and ban you for life from those locations for acting that way. Well, for other people, they don't fucking praise them and hail for them and shit like that. It's fucking annoying, man.
The revolution is knocking on Gotham's door. When this whole thing starts, make sure you're on the right side.
Mr. Wayne, thank you for opening your house to us. Together, we will change.
get. Well, it all depends on the company. You'll get, but you will go to more than one company and just start fucking raking it in. But you have to have the money to pay a day all the rest to your fucking bed. That's it. I mean, it's not that expensive. People never get that. I mean, they buy all the wrong things. People brainwash them to buy all the wrong things. I mean, what they claim as for people that they hire, and I mean, they all lie at the end. All they do is lie. I mean, they hire all the wrong people, and for that, those companies could sue those individuals and get all that fucking money back.
More allegations about his ties to the underworld. This isn't going away.
That is what they know from watching all those fucking TV, watching all. I'm telling you, man.
How could you hide this from me, Alfred? For all these years.
What would you have me do? You were a child. I've been dreading this day for nearly 2 decades. I hoped it would never come.
Forget the papers. I want to hear it from you.
The truth is, they were billionaires, Bruce. You can't amass that kind of wealth without making certain moral compromises. It's just not possible. That kind of money taints you.
My money has never corrupted me.
And I'm proud of you. But you're hardly the norm.
But that's the thing. What they're not telling you in the comic book, he has them on the budget,
Bill greased the wheels of politics.
and they bring that forth onto the movie in the 90 movie.
Thomas legitimized.
The 90, it's a bad one. It's rated R though.
Your father, Hamilton Hill, and Falcone.
It's the violence
Nothing happened.
that gave it a rated R. And the sexual. There's no nudity in it at all.
Falcone, the papers, they were telling the truth. Everyone knew about this.
It was a real good one,
I
man.
know it's a lot.
Everything.
I want you to know, I had my suitcases ready. I couldn't stand to be around your father anymore. But then they were killed, and you were all alone. And I just couldn't walk out the door. Everything I did, everything I've ever done, was out of love for you. I hope you can forgive me.
It's always the same thing, man. It's nothing new to me, man. When he does that, he goes mute for they say about a year or so, man. He don't talk to him for a year or nothing. He just leaves his meal at the table, and if he donate it, and then he donates it. Alfred would donate his food. He wouldn't need it himself. He would donate it to somebody. And that's how they say he found the Carney phone. But the Carney phone, they travel. They're trying to figure out how he actually spotted Robin. But it was that Bruce Wayne actually went to the location to watch him do a front. But he don't go to things like that. He goes to freaking benefits and shit like that.
If my father was that deep in crime, he would have had a basis.
Well, it's a fair assumption.
But it's fucking crazy. Some people will go to backlogs because it's all there, and it goes for $9.95 or something like that a month, or $7, $7 or $9, or $74 a year to read on the backlog. So they put it in digital format.
Sometimes.
Well, to a lot of people, it's those freaking comics they're worthless. But to other people, they're not worthless at all. Because of the manufacturer, how it was stamped and it's printed and all that. But as far as books go, it's a totally different thing. With books and comics, which is weird as hell. With books, they can't be republished because of they don't have a permission from the deceased individual. So if you have it, I mean, you can set it up, but you just can't republish it. Not even the permission from the publishers, which is weird as hell.
I only want to ask him one question. Why? My parents could have given him anything. Why would he just shoot him?
That's the easiest explanation.
Everyone mourns for Joe Chill, Bruce.
He's moving up in the crime world. I mean, a lot of people respect him for what he was saying, and how he was building himself, so they were respecting him.
Think back to that night, as hard as it might be to do so.
books and in the comic books and I think the anime, he travels in the expensive fucking Rolls Royce from his mom and father they purchased since the since the early 1900s. It's a Rolls Royce. It's not a Ford at all. It's a real expensive one. They were rolling it.
She was always so good to me.
It's either a crocodile or it's usually an animal with fangs
He
on
thought
it.
he was invincible. Sadly, he was mistaken.
A snake, whatever.
I can't picture him as a not the kind I deal with.
In that moment, he was simply your father. Where exactly does the memory end?
With my father pleading, "You don't have to do this." And the gun fires.
And after that? There are considerable gaps in that recollection.
Maybe. Do I really want to know?
But that's how it went down. He jumped in the way. I'll give you. He didn't want them. He didn't want nothing. It was the ploy. They wanted him to prove that he had that much kind of power within that territory.
He told me you had it coming. You don't have to do this.
No, he not on him. He knows on the parents. But on the last one, he can't take it out on whatchamacallit. When that made no sense. But yeah, Omar Filson, they said, well, they'll pass you, they'll hand you down that old weapons, because they don't have whatchamacallit traces on it. But what they would have is the caliber, which will be a 38 or a 22, 45, and that will come from a military fan. And then whatchamacallit, they will hand it down so they could use it in other countries. But the best way is to go there, man. You're better off whatchamacallit smothering those fuckers.
Bruce, are you alright?
Like they did to Alexander.
They were assassinated. And Carmine Falcone knows
And all they have to do is keep looking on the other way. Like I said, it is nothing fucking new. It is nothing fucking new.
Getting you in to see Falcone like this? I don't have to tell you how many rules we're breaking. Don't
Look, there goes that guy.
I'm always here for you. This could land us both in hot water. I pulled all the strings I had with the lieutenant. It's better not come back to bite us. Look, I get that, okay? And it means a lot to me. I know it does, Bruce. Doesn't make it any easier. The last time we brushed shoulders with Falcone, the press made us pay. At least tell me what this is about. Look, I'm all for blind support, but I should at least know what I'm getting myself into. I'm not sure, but I think Falcone put a hit on my parents. Wait, what? Bruce, that's terrible. That's why I have to speak with him. I have to know for sure. Bruce, I appreciate you opening up to me.
I've been awake since
I don't want
2:30.
Finally put Falcone in his cage.
But this fucking water is
Thanks
no
to the
fucking good. It has
information you gave me, you won't ever
it has a
know.
smell of super celebrated in.
Information? What information?
Oh,
When I start
so if
working,
you're new,
I could barely go
I was
15
going to
fucking
contact your office
minutes.
first thing, but everything's been a little busy.
I gave him some evidence against Falcone.
More like a catalog of his entire criminal empire. It's a case that'll put Falcone away for life.
Is that a fact?
It's the reason I said yes to this unorthodox request.
I said, it's fucking outdated what they
Job
do.
bringing in Falcone. Yeah, that's
Oh,
son of a
why didn't
bitch
you never
better not
fucking
get off
know?
again.
He's not getting off the hook, Renee. Not this time.
Mr. Wayne, Sergeant Rene Montoya. I just wanted to say, some of us police support you, despite what the media is saying.
Thanks, Sergeant.
We had to put Falcone in the infirmary. Batman practically tore him in half. Now, he's helped us a lot in the past, but if you ask me, he's out of control.
Well, whoever he is behind the mask, Batman's a hero to me.
And that's the problem. People are either scared out of their wits or they're trying to copy him.
At least someone's getting tough on these guys. I tell you, I'd rather have Falcone in here than out on the street.
You weren't there, Harvey. You didn't see it. All right, Falcone's inside. Say what you gotta say. We'll be out here.
I remember when they went into locations like that. I mean, they're supposed to override and they're supposed to allow you to record in hospitals to see what the hell's going on in there
Good thing I'll be out
with those people with calling themselves your family members.
Mausoleum in here.
You look like you tangled with the wrong guy.
Goddamn Batman. I haven't took a beating this bad since before I got made. Your father used to sew me up. Better than these cop doctors. Yeah, that's right. Tommy and I were close. More than friends. More like cousins.
that's not what he wants. I mean, he tells you the wrong thing either, no matter what you
Not
do.
on his bad side.
But I'm always doing that too.
Your father was more ruthless than any of us. He had a switch, you know. Still, made us all rich, including you. Some people just have the mind for it. He was one of the most brilliant men I ever knew. Till you hired an assassin to take him out. You really think I ordered the hit? Sure, I worked with Joe Chill from time to time. Put a button on someone, he'd take him out. But I never ordered that hit in your rounds. So who did? You can't trust anyone in Gotham. Least of all those you call friend. Your parents let that.
They're waiting for you in hell. The bastard had to die.
Hands in the air! Stand down! Get a doctor! Secure this door! No one gets in or out! Go! Go!
We are in deep shit. I bought us some time, but not much. Word's gonna get out, sooner or later. Why would she do something like this? We had Gotham's biggest crime lord in our grasp. This close, we were this close. This whole damn force is riddled with corruption. Someone must have got to her, Jim.
Just doesn't make any sense. She'd never do anything to hurt the department.
Falcone's case meant justice for 1,000 unnamed victims. And now it is a PR disaster. How can I run against corruption when our own cops
still
are
like
decorating
Breakfast
the precinct with their prisoners' brains? Listen, we gotta get out in front of this. Gotta spin it. as
It was
best we
turned into a
can.
stone.
Issue a statement saying that we have the shooter in custody. The details are still coming in and that we're investigating. The usual. Harvey's right. We need to control this story or someone else will.
And we need the whole story, not just part of it. Lieutenant, District Attorney, Falcone's lawyers are here.
Christ. I can delay them for a little while. We still need answers. injection cell.
Just light. Like I could do whatever I wanted, but really, no consequence. There was a voice in my ear insisting that I was going to get off. And all I knew was that I had to stop that. I had to, no matter what. The reasons why I should. They were a million miles away.
But you were hypnotized? Under some mind control?
No one controlled more than my infrastructure. My anger was anything. I heard the hands on my arm. Guided me like a parent with a child. The voice, it was saying something about revolution.
God, the box is something somewhere.
I'm so sorry, Lieutenant. But look now.
We stole Falcone's lawyers for now. They'll be back. How is she? Did she tell you anything?
Please believe me.
She remembers a voice saying something about revolution.
That's not much to go on.
Now, if you're bringing forensics in, let's get Bruce out. Alfred, I gotta get back to the manor. I gotta lead on whoever's behind this.
Bruce! What are you doing here? My friends in the GCPD have been telling stories about some kind of lockdown?
The press can't seem to leave you alone.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's your cologne. Word is there were shots fired near where Falcone was killed. Know anything about that? You must have been back there when it happened.
Always digging for a story.
So it's true?
I didn't say that.
Word is you turned over enough dirt on Falcone to put him in Blackgate prison for a day after he showed up at your house. Now you're here. You can't afford to be associated with another scandal. I can keep your name out of whatever we print, but you need to give me something I can use. Who fired the shots? A cop? I can tell by the way you're brushing me off that something happened. Just give me something to run with.
Please, get out of my way.
Disappointing. Maybe you have more to do with this than I thought.
Either Cobblepot drugged Montoya himself or someone else is using his revolutionary rhetoric. Either way, I need to find it. Let's put our drones in the air and start the search. I'll run a trace on his cell. In the meantime, we have to find out what we can do about this drug.
The computer's been analyzing the chemicals from Montoya's bloodstream.
Throw that up on a marker. The residue scan on Montoya is similar to the nerve agent I found with Dobbs. Let's see what we got.
It's ironic that Falcone died at the hands of someone drugged with his chemicals. Who'd have guessed that's how he'd meet his maker? Prone in his sickbed, surrounded by police who were ordered to protect him.
Falcone got it coming. He caused as much pain as he did, eventually will come back.
We should all be mindful of that. I hope he told you something before he was killed. What did you learn from him? I imagine you've got a lot on your mind, considering the last few hours.
It wasn't Falcone who called it. reference points on the two compounds.
Hmm.
The men at the docks were doused with the base chemicals. The reaction was messy. Out of control. This was fine tools as a weapon. It only took a small injection to strip Montoya of her moral filters and make her act on her base impulses.
I said they're all the same, man.
Both compounds seem stable, but they're quick to fall apart. Whoever processed it knew what they were doing.
What could the creators of such a drug possibly have in mind? Fighting your wars is one thing, but dragging others to fight them for you.
As far as I know, Montoya is still an isolated case.
Your drones are in position to triangulate Cobblepot's location.
So let's see what happens there. Okay, this one, let me see up. That's somewhere around here. Oh, I got correct. That's the one I didn't get correct. The other two I got correct. I have it recorded, dude. And then this one, let me see if I remember this one. It's over here. What the fuck? And this one,
Skylight Club. Jesus, didn't even wait for Falcone's body to get cold, did you?
Going to speak with him, Bruce?
Bruce Wayne already tried talking to Cobblepot. It's time he met the Batman.
Nudie.
let's see.
Quack.
And this one's here.
You lot, come check out this office. You can help me.
Let him go.
Batman! It's about time! You kill a crime boss, you'd expect a word of thanks from Gotham's #1 vigilante. But don't worry, I'll pass your gratitude on to those who made it happen. They'll be pleased to know you think so highly of their work.
I said let him go.
You hear that, Roland? That sounded like an order.
I'll crush you.
Now, have a little respect for the bat. Think he underestimates you. Is this about Falcone? We all saw how you felt.
But it should be here by Sunday or Monday.
Hey, the man on live TV. If you were truly the defender of the city, you'd have finished this job yourself. Falcone deserved to die.
It's usually a 3, 2 or 3. Usually more so 2s and 3s. 2s.
that's why you got so many. As a show of good faith, I'm gonna let this one go. How's about we talk this through? We'll do with Falcone. Now, if we can just cut out the rest of the rot.
Oh, there'll never be a fight.
Ill, ordinary folks might be able to breathe.
What is it about this place that attracts criminal scum like you? You're going to attack the mayor? That's not going to happen.
Attack? Absolutely not. Mayor Hillswell has been decided. Here's the thing. I actually admire you, Batman. We both want the same kinds of things. Me and my people, we've got big plans for Gotham.
But when you get it right, there's certain noises and certain mannerisms.
This didn't work out, mate. I'd stay watch. I would, but I still got a Catwoman problem to deal with. What's her name again?
Selina.
Yes! Oh, yes! Nothing.
But that's what injures him the most in the comics, and they don't explain in the anime. No, they don't. And the anime doesn't explain that he disappears for a long time, and he stops talking to Alfred for about a year. In the comic, they explain it takes him like a year when he gets upset with Alfred. He won't talk to him for about a year, somewhere about. It takes him a long time for him to talk to Alfred again. And they explain it in the comic books. The narrator does. That's how pissed off he gets at Alfred when he lies to him. I'll see what happens. No, they don't allow you to turn off the music. They don't allow you to do it, but what they do allow you is put a coin in it. But here's the thing, but that generation, the women don't talk for one reason. I mean, what my dad and my uncles were, it's like you have to pay to. You don't just ask them things like that. I mean, because in their generations, women are of a lower class. They're meant to clean and do this and that. But no, you're meant to pay. You're supposed to give them money to talk. It has nothing to do about flirting, and it's about being politically correct.
You were supposed to take care of her. Make sure you brought her. Instead, you just kissed him off.
No, they're not. It's all a lie.
You should have just killed me on that rooftop. I'm dead end. When you screw someone up, you really screw them. I only know about reputation. I'm surprised you know. He's a big deal across the pond. He's more dangerous than you think. You don't know what you're into.
I grew up with Alyssa. It's my first girlfriend I ever had.
I'm not surprised. Questionable morals and potential for the ethics. Makes you have a lot of time. The question is, why God? Why now? It's not like he's hurting for crimes and things at all. Why leave it?
He thinks he's changing the world for the better, no matter the cost.
Well, he's no Joan of Arc, that's for sure.
They're all the
Well,
same.
that's just another thing to find out.
Oswald, Penny is about to unleash God knows what I say. You can't just leave.
A good reason not to be. You want to stay? That's your choice.
Whatever Penny is, innocent people will end up in the line of fire.
Innocence. Not me.
But Catwoman she don't care if it's not pertaining money or something to prove herself as a good thief. I mean, it's not gonna happen.
The two of us working together. After all, I'm not really an all-work and no-play kind of girl. Harvey knows that.
You and her, it's pretty clear we weren't just friends.
Please, don't destroy me. I only take my claws out for something special. You and I. Well, Bruce, you were right.
Penguin says Allah. Media, we're here for her. You care about your own skin? Go get the hell out. I said, leave!
She's with me. I feel you.
I don't think they jumped them from behind. God damn it, I hate all it takes fucking forever, man. See, when they teach you hand-to-hand combat, you grab with your left and you finish them off with your right. Or just with your strong hand, because a lot of people are predominantly right-handed. When you're predominantly left, you do the opposite. So you lead with your left, not your right. Or you grab with your left more so than anything. Not with both.
I think they want more.
Then let's give it to her.
The reason why they do it with both is because they're gonna grapple, and that's how I know they're trying to win again, but it's not gonna work. The only thing that worked. Oh, he went. No, it didn't. You lead with the left, not with the grab. That's a takedown right away. Your submission, your move will be a lot stronger than theirs because theirs is a move in. But Chuck Norris movie is a real good one, which is the turnaround with the fist and it hits him in the face. That fucking move won him a gold medal, and kickboxers are using it a lot. It's always landing too, unless you have a real freaking walk back reflex and putting your hands up. But they're usually getting tagged if you see it, because they're all trying to go full front, because everyone is liking the KO. But that move always gets them, man. But you have to have good hand-eye coordination to push it upwards, block with your hand, which makes no sense to me. But they're always trying to KO each other.
Let's get out of here. I'll take the rooftops. You take the alley.
Wait. Yes or no? Will you help me stop Hayward?
I'm gonna say maybe, but only because he's trying to kill me.
Pretty good reason to say yes.
You shouldn't trust me now.
But that's what he was trying to invent there, the propulsion there, magnetism. But it keeps boggling them.
Processing it now. Is everything all right? Quite a few police cars convening on your location.
It's fine. The back computer found anything.
Bruce, there are a number of messages here. All from Mayor Hill. The last voicemail is his. Listen to this.
I gave you everything I have on way. I've held up my end of the bargain, and I expect you to do the same.
This is very shady indeed. Whatever they're talking about doesn't sound good.
Hill is setting it up.
But I still don't like how they get those type of. I don't.
Hayward, you must know something. It's time I paid him a visit.
I agree. The mayor must have answers, but if I may offer a word of advice, the whole world was horrified.
Everyone goes after this.
You terrorized the mayor too. You could lose Gotham's goodwill completely. Then again, Batman's methods would certainly get him talking immediately. Bruce would have to depend on his guile to loosen Hill's lips.
Bootsy Hole is a good idea, but it is a little hard for him.
Well, if I was to go as Bruce, they'll let me in, but he was gonna want to know. And if I go in as a Batman, I don't know, because he's trying to be noticed within that territory as an upcoming crime fighter, but Bruce is getting caught up with whatchamacallit, with the crime wave, and supposedly they know his fucking family and this and that, so it's all catching up to him, and he gave him a whole bunch of paperwork, and when the false goes to Batman, it talks down to him.
Bruce.
I'll go and ask Bruce. I said.
Calling this Bruce is this my choice.
I played this at a friend's house once.
Did you enjoy it?
Sorry, the mayor's busy. Do you have an appointment?
It takes about an hour. It takes an hour of your time.
Really can't be disturbed right now. Excuse me, Mr. Wayne?
No, so you better tell him I'm coming.
Sir? Bruce Wayne to see you? He'll be right out.
I'm not moving.
Bruce Wayne? Finally, you've come to see me. Of course, only after your name's been dragged through the mud. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to see you. But you're a day late with a great many dollars.
I like Telltale games like DWD and stuff.
Toto.
It's easy to ask for peace when you've already lost.
It's okay. I mean, it'll be a lot funner if they give you whatchamacallit twice as many options, and well, not options. I should say twice as many questionnaires, but without the time there for you to answer.
Oh, I understand.
Instead of really just holding and holding and holding it.
I gave you everything I have on Wayne. I've held up my end of the bargain, and I expect you to do the same. Sounds like
It is easy.
So, what's your point? I take it you have one. Or are you just fond of my dulcet tones?
I'm here as a friend. This can disappear.
Oh, let me guess. There's a fee.
The fee is full disclosure on your crimes.
Heartless! I want nothing to do with it. I'm in Cobblepot's crosshairs, same as you.
But you fed them to donkey.
Only the files I seized from Wayne Manor. Your father, Falcone, and I, we had ways of getting anything we wanted. How do you think your family got the land at Wayne Tower? Cobblepot wants retribution because we took his family's land. Oswald's family signed it over for us, along with the rest of their assets.
Even if that's true, it's no excuse for Cobblepot's crimes.
I quite agree. It doesn't hurt to understand your enemy's motives. There's so much more I could share, if only we were friends. I could help you deal with Penguin, let you in on some family history. But I'm caught in a dogfight in my political career, and my rival has bottomless pockets. Now, if that rival were to say, drop out, or his advertising spend were to dry up, I might have a lot more resources for helping a new friend.
Fine. That's what it takes to earn your friendship.
I knew you'd see through it. It's time we really took. Power is an old oak. The trunk stands strong, but it's the roots that hold it up. And the thickest of them lead to bark.
That's true. The root system is what holds the tree down. I mean, if you plant it wrong, it'll topple from the soil itself. But the oak branches they do break, but it holds standing if you plant it correctly.
Transfer of assets. Falcone was the muscle. He had his own way of making problems go away.
So that's what Oz wants to punish me for.
His mother was one of our last patients. You can hardly expect him to be rash. Gotham was chaos before we took control. At least now there's a semblance of order. Listen, Bruce. Now that we're back on the same side, your father's last gift, they're yours. The keys to the city.
Thank you.
Hamlet. Call me Hamlet. Penguin's gathered quite a few victims to this crusade. But that's a problem for another day. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to pep the debate. My door's always open.
Cocaine no flower people are asking me why I hate the military.
Good luck.
I don't know. I can't hardly think about it.
Alfred, get a warning report. Tells me increased security.
It's not. Well, if you don't want to join, that's your thing, though. But it's not that bad of a. I mean, if your memory, I mean, it's no good. I mean, you just stay at that one at that one level. But if it's good enough and you really are learning, and you really do want to learn and want to get questions that way, that you how you know and you want to go move forward up. And it's not just up in paycheck, but in ranking, and to put on another patch onto your freaking jacket, or wardrobe. an ensemble, well then you go all for it. But some people they don't. Other people they thrive in things like that. But if you want, you go into West Point, and that's if you want to go into West Point. If you don't, you don't have to go. But a lot of people go into the military.
Cookie butt bubble nut nut.
Well, if that's what you want, then by that's yours. But it's not good. Did you hear about the guy that got busted? It was a trick with. It was in the early '90s how that guy they were selling cocaine, but it wasn't cocaine. It was synthetic cocaine, and they all wanted to find out where it came from. And there was supposedly it's being produced in Amsterdam, and then that club got busted here, and there was just been club after club after club, and they were all saying claiming it was coming from Amsterdam. But it turned out that the guy was Jamaican.
Just to be safe. Hills, details about your father. Must have been quite upset.
Synthetic cocaine. The ones that were getting it from that, they were doing ecstasy, and their brains rotted.
To be honest, Alfred, nothing can show me when it comes to my parents. I wish I felt the same way.
But in true form, when Bruce gets swinged at Alfred, he doesn't talk to him for nothing. He just goes mute on him. And Alfred gets that.
The images on his cameras haven't changed. Something's wrong.
Penguin was men may have commandeered the cameras on their end.
It doesn't work that way, man.
They want us to see. Warn Gordon that he may have visitors. I have to get down there now.
Now I have my music out set at the 1 level. That fucking thing just jumped up all crazy, but I like it in purple, and it doesn't allow me to change it when it usually does. But it didn't allow it.
Leaving John Dale's and I pointed finger why pickle cruci peppers why.
It's not allowing me to do that.
I-E-A-I-A-I-O-I-E-A-I-A-I-O-E.
So we're gonna let his face get burnt off then. So we can allow him to become Two-Face. But I wanted to see what happened to prove that she knows how to handle herself. So we went after the whatchamacallit to that. I don't care.
Message that would send to the voters. Whereas I'm not betting polls. A win tonight, I could take the election. What with the allegations in the press, now this Mr. Falcone, you're a liability. But here's the thing, Bruce. Without your money, I am dead in the water. I know this is a delicate topic, but I need you. I may have to trash you in public.
Either we're a team or we're not.
Of course we're a team, Bruce. Of course we are. Just not in front of the press. Listen, I hate to push you, but
No, good or bad is publicity. I mean, you want publicity, you want to answer those type of questions, and that they're afraid to answer, so they failed on that.
whatever it takes to save Gotham, that's what we wanted.
No.
That's disappointing. Good reason.
Here's all that money I was giving you. I'm giving it to you.
I'm gonna give it to someone else.
You're joking. Please tell me you're joking. Right, look, I have to go. Make the pressures. Is that put on my face? Listen, I'm sorry we couldn't make this work out, Bruce.
Oh. I need to charge it. I need to charge my cellular.
Just so we're clear, you and me, we're on shaky ground. No, listen to me. Excessive violence can't go on. Most of the GCPD already think you're a monster. Don't look right.
I'm sorry for bringing you into the whole spot, Gigi. I value our working relationship.
So do I. That's why I need you to bring it in.
We have bigger things to worry about right now. Your security has been compromised.
I've got patrols on every door.
You better check over them.
I'd keep that holstered if I were you.
What's she doing here? She was part of that robbery at the mayor's office.
You're gonna drag out that dead horse.
The break-in isn't important. Protecting the debate is.
You should get Phil. You're getting too far.
Double trouble. It's better not come back to fight me. Come on, Joel. Come in.
That incident in the bar. Love is its own kind of cage. Can't stand any of it. Not that I needed your help. I thought I could pay the favor. Well, after you scratch my back, I got some supply.
This is just one fight. They're coming with everything they have.
That ball really had to be this.
They're visiting.
Enough waiting. We're going in.
Alma, you read.
Now, aren't you glad?
It's a visit, not coming.
You live in a shelter by SWAT team.
But again, if you do abbreviations, coming is a lot shorter compared to visiting, believe it or not.
Sounds like a vote for dead lieutenant.
But the proper word is visiting. I mean, it's to save back then. Back then it was. But they've been telling me that since I was a kid. They've been telling all of us that in our classroom since we were kids. That's the reason why they use those words. It's an abbreviation to save time, to save money. 'Cause their time is that important, is that valuable. I mean, whatever do the penny pinch. I mean, it's fucking crazy, man. And that goes for everywhere. They all do crazy penny pinchings. When you do the history on penny pinching, it's out there.
Thanks for your help with this spot.
Gordon, we found one of the patrols. They've been terminated.
As you might have guessed, there's been a change to tonight's program. First order of business. Firing the moderator!
I hate to go down these hostages. I don't have their chances.
Don't think about the odds of taking a sentence. You have to stay focused.
Speak for yourself,
Get out of here. Keep it quiet back there.
these guys are armed to the teeth.
We need a new moderator. You there? Yes! Yes! Thank you for volunteering.
Please, no.
Go on then. Introduce the candidates. Stage right now. Alright, I'll get you started, but this is your show.
Three hostiles. Gotta take them out quietly.
I watching Maxi.
I wouldn't know. Like, thanks for letting me notes there. We'll see about that. But that it works, man. It really does. It'll show you what's in the whatchamacallit. What's all in the neural system there. But it usually is. No. Aluminum. That's why they separate the industrial from the, I mean, they have to set them all apart because they have that issue. But again, they hire all the wrong people. When that happens, it's because they're hiring other. It starts trickling into the wrong. It is nothing fucking new.
I am brushing my teeth.
Good.
Someone else is pulling the strings.
Smart. Let someone else do it.
I use a mouthwash. But I should be using both. But that's what my mom, she would get mad at me. You need to use toothpaste too. And I was like, no. I'd rather have mouthwash. And I bet she was like, I'd rather buy a toothpaste. I said all they do is deceive people. It's the same freaking thing.
I use Curio Sciences.
Basic ones. Dilute. I said they told me that. I said you'll have to dilute them so you can whatchamacallit, extend it. Dude. Like I said, I went a long time ago. They're doing that to prove you're caught. Watch what you do with the money. You're gonna do the same thing. That's the only option there. Just start lifting weight instead of being politically correct. Now we'll win each and every time.
Took out Thomas Wayne. That was all him. He didn't know when to stop. I had him killed because of it.
I will win each and every time. Like I said, they're not smart, they're retards.
Where's your mate, Bruce Wayne? Your biggest supporter, and you didn't even turn up. Batman! The revolution's already started! It's too late to join!
Your revolution is over, Penguin.
On the contrary, we're just getting started!
Like I said, it has nothing to do with me. I will win each and every time. First thing they want you to do, man, watch. It's the same fucking English shit with all of them.
Where's the maniac in the mask? We need paramedics over here, now!
No, well, Spider-Man is the opposite. Spider-Man is fucking, he leaves off check. Compared to Batman, Batman has a plethora and abundance amount of money there.
City Hall is in chaos
You get that?
after Mayor Hamilton Hill
Abbreviated.
was confirmed dead.
While several members of the Children of Arkham have been arrested, the Penguin is still at large.
This year's the funniest question. They all want another stimulus. Ain't gonna happen. I mean, it's just invisible money. People working and 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 working.
List of Thomas Wayne's victims was released to the public.
Well, that all depends on who you talk to. To the vegetarian or to the one who likes it, the carnivorous one.
Lawyers representing Bruce Wayne have no comment at this time.
But that guy, the doctor, he was like, well, you're better off eating meat. I mean, but that's not true. I mean, you can't be doing that. It's better. You get cholesterol. I mean, they're through the roof. I mean, it'll be in your blood system. It'll clog up your heart. The CIA, which is Bush Senior, he told everybody you're better off eating the gelatin. If that's what sees it, you need some type of gluttonous. Me and my family, we went with pig's feet. It's good, but it's all contaminated. Everything. But That's the music box. It's a real pretty one. I like that music note, or music notes. I should say. You did that. I'm
What
thinking
have I just nutted?
you're gonna help me get the cunning there. If you want to see Two-Face, you have to let that individual, the district attorney, get burned by that light. I remember they were talking about those when I was a kid. Those things are real hot. I mean, they start scorching a sweat. But people who are used to it, they're like, no, it's the food. The other ones, no, it shouldn't be doing that, but no, it's the fungicide. It really was. But it's real hot. When you start sweating right away, it's fungicide. It has nothing to do with nerves or nothing like that.
I crack it.
It's not bringing up the whatchamacallit, the next time, none of that. Mr. Edit it out.
Authorities are scrambling. The so-called Children of Arkham have the city in a frenzy, but there's still no sign of their master leader. With Hill and Falcone dead by their hands, the question on everyone's lips is, who's next?
After that news about your father, some people in Arkham. Looked like the whole city wants you to have that fight.
Waynes has always run this company, but now they need to decide what your future